So today, we are going to talk about something called stress. And basically, the reason I wanted to talk about stress today is because I've been feeling pretty stressed lately, and I wanted to share that with you and see if there's anything that we can do to help cope or deal with that stress. So we are going to talk about stress, what it means, and then I'm going to show you a brain pop video that I think explains what stress is really well. And then we are going to get into breakout rooms and we are going to help each other, give each other advice on how to deal with stress. So before we start, I wanted to ask you all, what do you think stress means? And feel free to unmute yourself or raise your hand, unmute yourself, or you can put it in the chat as well. Thank you, Samantha, for raising your blue hand. Go ahead.
Stress is like something like pressure,
Mm-hmm.
or you're overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm. So,
With stress,
uh-huh.
really tired and really sleepy, but very busy also at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You can also get many diseases from stress also.
Mm-hmm.
Like stress can cause high blood pressure,
Mm-hmm.
and high blood pressure could also create aneurysms,
Mm-hmm.
which are very dangerous,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of other things also.
Mm-hmm.
I know because my mom has an aneurysm, so.
Oh no. That sounds really stressful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I hope that gets better. Thank you for sharing that, Samantha, and thank you for being our first brave volunteer. I also see that people are responding in the chat, and Jasmine says it's a feeling. Davion says, I have stress every day and it is very painful. Twee, perfect answer. Stress is a type of anxiety. Thank you everyone for those wonderful responses. I think everyone has a pretty good idea of what stress is. Before we start, I wanted to ask, what are some things that are making you stressed at this current moment? Or what are things that make you stressed in general? Again, feel free to raise your blue hand and then I'll call on you or put it in the chat. Samuel's also adding to our conversation and saying it makes you feel pressured. Thank you, Samuel T. What are some things that make you feel stressed or overwhelmed? It could be in your own personal life. It could be at school. For me personally, something that is currently stressing me out is school. I have a lot of assignments that are due this week and next week. It's halfway through the semester, so teachers are like, here are all these assignments, do them. And I think for me, it's been really stressful for me to kind of stay on top of like getting all my assignments done and finding the time to get everything done and doing everything to the best of my ability. Nina said she has braces. Is that something that is stressing you out, Nina, that you got braces? That can seem kind of stressful because it's a new experience. Nina's nodding her head, yes. Okay, so maybe if we watch this video, it will help us. Mr. Zuki said, sometimes it is very loud in my house when I am trying to work and I get a little stressed. That does sound like something that is very stressful. I can relate to that also. Anyone else want to share anything that makes them stressed before we start our video? It's a pretty cool video. Anya, go ahead.
Something that makes me stressed is they're like, oh, what if I didn't do this? Oh, and like just like trying to do my best, and then like that I kind of get stressed out, and it's because I don't want to like fail my class, because then I'll but like that's something that stresses me out.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Sometimes I even got let me show you all. I got this big, humongous, ginormous, bigger than my head calendar to remind me of all the things that I need to do because I don't want to forget doing anything. So that's definitely a suggestion for anyone who feels like they forget things sometimes, is writing it down on a big calendar. And a lot of people in the chat are saying they're getting braces and expanders. Man, that sounds really stressful. So thank you everyone for your wonderful responses. Right now we are going to watch the brain pop video to give us a better understanding of what stress means and what it looks like. Okay, here we go. Oh, sorry.
Oh man. I
don't know about you all, but I thought that was a pretty informative video, and I definitely learned a lot, and I see a lot of people that contributed to our conversation in the chat. So thank you everyone for doing that. So like I said, so when we are going to get into breakout rooms right now, and the video that we just watched gave a lot of examples of things that can stress us out and ways that we can cope with it. So it talked about eating right, exercising, taking breaks. That's all I could think of in the moment. So I'm sure you all remembered other ones from that video. So we're gonna go into breakout rooms right now really quick, and I think that your friends are a great resource to help us give us advice on things of ways that we can help deal with that stress. So for example, if I was in a group with Miss Teresa, Miss Valentina, and Mr. Zuki, I can tell them, hey group, I have been feeling really stressed out lately because I have a lot on my plate. I've been moving, I got new furniture. Well, I haven't been moving. I got new furniture, so I've been moving everything around, and I'm trying to deal with like painters and the floor people and trying to stay on top of my assignments. And I feel like I'm not finishing one thing, and I'm just like hopping from different activity. Like, okay, let me start this assignment. And then I'm like, I can't find my notebook. And then I'm like, okay, let me go start cleaning my room. So I'm hopping from all these different activities. And I haven't been able to complete one thing. And I've been feeling really stressed out and overwhelmed about that. So I would tell my group, do any of you have any advice for me to help me deal with that stress? And then my group will give me advice on what they have dealt with, or if they've been in a similar situation. So Miss Valentina, Mr. Zuki, or Miss... Go ahead.
Thank you for sharing this, Alice. I've definitely been in situations like that, and what helps me in those moments is taking a 30-minute walk and resetting and coming back to the situation with a fresh mind.
Wow, Ms. Valentina, thank you so much for that response. I'm definitely going to try that out. Mr. Zuki or Miss Teresa, do you have any advice for me as well?
Sure. I have a notebook where I write down like all the things that are running through my mind, and I just try to like add things. And at the end of the day, I organize them and put them in the order that I think they need to get done, like the most important. So for example, if I need to do something before bed, I'll circle it or I'll highlight it and make it a big deal so that I know I gotta do it before bed. And then before I fall asleep, I make sure I did those things. And then I'll check my list and see like, oh, what am I going to for sure do tomorrow? And then I'll highlight those. So like making a plan for each day of what are the things I got to do and what are the things that I really got to finish tomorrow.
Yeah, I like that. So prioritizing the things that you need to do today and writing a list of what needs to be done tomorrow. Thank you, Mr. Zuki, and thank you, Ms. Valentina. So, Mr. Zuki, if you don't mind opening up the breakout rooms, and like I said, we are all good resources to help each other out and give each other advice. I'm sure people have been in similar situations that you have been in. So, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Zuki.